see, you have two guys on either side, Jesse, who are really going to make the secondaries nervous.
Oh, they should, because these guys can take the top off of defense. You've got two very dynamic individuals playing on each offense, and if I'm playing quarterback in this game for either team, I am going to take my shots and give my guy an opportunity, because both of these guys, David, have proven they can make circus-level catches.
I mean, when they're not open, they're open. I mean, they can make the dynamic catches, the contested catches. They have the speed. They are two of the best playmakers in all of the country. So whenever an offense has the football today, you're going to like the show.
Really nice job on that play. Quarterback and receiver being on the same page. Quarterback not telegraphing the throw, and the receiver does a nice job finding the soft spot in the defense, just settling down and giving his quarterback a nice target to throw to.
They've got it at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Looking downfield on 1st down. Fires to the big play. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a 1st down. Really good job working through his progression. You get it to him quickly, and the big tight end has a chance to run a little.
And a really good job by the QB throwing an accurate throw. I got to hit those guys on the move, on the run, so they can do this. They can catch the football, get upfield, and chew up some extra yards.
What a nice job by the defense to string it out, not giving any kind of outlet and knock him down for a loss. This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. Grab behind the line, and he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Better find the end ones. Here comes the noise, backing his defense on 3rd down. He's looking downfield to throw. That was almost picked off and what a disaster that would have been to throw quick on the opening drive. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, you knew you were going to see it in this game, throwing the go route to one of the fastest players in all of college football. This receiver strikes fear in the heart of every defense because he's got elite track speed. He's going to blow the combine up in the 40-yard dash because of his wheels. Not able to connect with the quarterback on that one, but you know he has the defense's attention.
And what a performance, an aerial show from this guy in the last game, and he has to have a ton of confidence coming into this one, David.
Yeah, it was a great week. And watching that tape before this game, like you could tell, man, he was seeing it quick. The ball was coming out, just touchdowns at will. A really nice day. And I think, Jesse, you take that and you start to build on it for this offense and really continue to trust him to make plays through the air.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think he really earned his offensive coordinator's trust after that performance. So I'm anticipating the playbook to expand a little bit in this game. Maybe see some new schemes in the passing game just based on what this guy was able to do the last time he took the field.
Here we go. Do the show. Right.
Quarterback making adjustments. Finds his man. It's Benson. He knew exactly where he wanted to go with that one, and they've got enough for the 1st down.
Well, what's the point in waiting? Why not get one of your best players involved in the game right off the bat? They take a shot, their big target outside, shows off his athletic ability, and right away this offense is on.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Man, nowhere to run on that play at all.
About all you can say is do better. But that's the problem. Are they able to do better?
And that's why you keep trying things, right? Keep trying to get on the perimeter, run up the middle, try different things to see what you do well.
Blue 85.
They'll run the counter. And he does a really nice job finding open space and making a good gain before the stop is made. Let's see what they do here on 3rd and short from the 41.
Blue 22. Blue 22.
Motion from the wideout. Now the play fake. Unloads to the right.
defenses there on that third down. There was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the first.
Leaves it with the back. He's pulled down after a tough one, gets it to the 6.
Listen, you got to be able to know what play to call and what hole to go through. Like the line blocks for a certain hole. Good job getting through the hole, getting what was blocked, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good on the next down.
Back to throw, it's Murphy. Looking to the end zone.
I tell you what, this offense, man, you got a small sample size. Unbelievable last game. Another score early in this football game. This offense is looking like a force to be reckoned with.
They'll move the tight end. He's looking to throw. Under fire. And the defense on him, and he will go down. Sack on the 2-point try. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. All right, guys, so here's the offense back on the field again. They'd love to get something started here, down 6-0. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Defense in the right spot. They stop him after a gain of 2 to the 28.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game. Got to stop the run first.
To the air on 2nd down. Got it behind the line. It's Wood. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. They make 3rd down offensive key as we proceed on 3rd and long from the 28. There's some pressure. And he scoots his way to the 1st down and then slides to avoid the hit.
On the third play of the drive, 3rd down, it's the scrambling ability of this quarterback that goes and picks up the
us, but I definitely have to find my way to get that guy.
Out of the gun, the inside give. They can rely on this guy to pick up solid yards when they need it, and he's out to the 43. They have it at the 43. Third and short, trying to avoid making a decision on fourth down. Gives it on the option. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
That's a great play by the defensive end. The best athletes in the field play defensive end. You can ask anybody. Yes, I agree, Jesse. So they agree with me. Same thing, but you want to get off the ball, make the play. That's why you put your athletes there.
Kick is in the air. On his way back from the 20. And they'll get him down after the return at the 27-yard line. So we'll see this offense make its way out to start the drive. Always a positive to put up early points, and they'll try to add to this 6-0 edge. Give to the running back. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Dropping back, it's Murphy. Starting to feel a little pressure. He's got an open man. And it's a first down. They'll mark it at the 44. Here's the offense with the first set of downs. Off the play fake on first down. To throw. Unloads it left. It's incomplete and maybe a little too aggressive from this senior trying to fit that one in there.
Hey, quarterbacks got to understand, I know you got your favorites, and you're going to look out there and that guy's really good. I'm going to find ways to get him, but I got to take what the defense gives me, and the double coverage is probably not the avenue that I want to go attack that system.
And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
And I love when my quarterback sees zone and knows exactly where to go with the football, sees the wide receiver on the drag route, and knows when to throw it, and try for the easy completion.
Now with a great opportunity as they pick up the first down. They've got it at the 40.
Well, that's kind of the advantage of 3rd and medium, right? Is the defense, you keep them guessing. Throw it, run it, that time they hand it off and pick it up.
Yeah, you can see the D drop back a little bit. It creates a little bit of space. The running back blasts through, gets the first down.
Now from the 40, it's 1st and 10. Wants to throw on first down. Takes a hit as he fires. And the pass is incomplete, but it might not matter. Flag is down, and it looked as if the defense was roughing up that receiver.
And the defender just way too handsy on that last play. You could see all the contact as the ball was in the air. He simply can't do it, and the referee's caught.
They'll immediately call timeout. So after the flag, a fresh set of downs for the offense. It's 1st and 10. He might want another play. Looking to throw, it's Murphy. Unloads to the wideout.
That's a good opening for this offense, obviously. It's early in the game. You've got the lead, and the ball's bouncing their way. Really nice catch there, David, off the deflection.
A good early play for sure.
Into the end zone for a touchdown.
This offense has started the season off so good. 1-0, we did the right now, building on it again. Great job putting points on the board. It's still the first half, but this unit looks dialed in.
He's looking to throw. He's got it. So it's a 59-yard touchdown run. They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? Here he comes from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. And now this offense will take the field again. They've gotten off to a
strong hands by that receiver making that catch. He made that look pretty routine. He had that DB draped all over him and still was able to help this offense get positive yards.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Gives it on the option. And after the tackle, that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. They're facing a 3rd down. On the gun, wants to pass. Fires it beautifully in on the crosser. That'll be enough for the 1st down, and now they've got it at the 15-yard line. We're through one, and what a back-and-forth battle between these two quarterbacks as we look at the stats. Big turning point as we head into the 2nd and get this game rolling again. First play of the period, 1st down here. They go to the ground. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
And there was no space, nowhere to go. That play went absolutely nowhere.
Sometimes you just need a dude to show up and make a play, and he did.
Sometimes you just need to block that dude. They did.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
That's a great example of the defense there tackling the catch. As soon as the big fella caught the ball, not making it
On 3rd down, going up top. And it's touchdown. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd.
Hey!
On the run from inside his own 5. And the return man is stopped, and that'll leave it up to the offense on the next drive. Offense making its way onto the field to start the drive. They had to stand by and watch that scoring march, and now it's up to them to find a way to answer it. First play of this drive comes from the 14-yard line. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Tough way to start this drive. Now they'll try to fix it on 2nd and 15. To the air. It's Murphy. There's the hit. And down he goes back at the 3.
We're only in the first half already. This guy's got 2 TD passes, so you could see the defensive coaching staff on the sideline telling this D-line, guys, we got to get after this guy. We have to affect his rhythm and not let him be so comfortable back there. Right there, they were able to get after him. Let's see if they can keep it up.
And that's the
This offense has it with really good field position. And off from the shotgun. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
And this offense on 1st down, man, they go backwards. And they built a deficit, and they've been sluggish. And they just need something to get going, to get started, because they kind of looked out of sorts and out of rhythm. It's not there.
And good coverage by the defense, just a short game.
I love offenses and quarterbacks that are willing to take the easy stuff, take those easy throws that are guaranteed to get positive yards. Yeah, I'm going to take big shots, got to get field too. But don't forget, it's easier to pick up 2nd 5, 3rd and 5 than it is when you're stuck in those long yard situations.
He's broke down, but he's got him inside the 10. 1st and goal from the 8.
Really nice play call there because the defense might have been thinking on 3rd and short in the red zone. They're probably going to run the football instead. They throw it, catch him off guard, and now they've got 1st and goal.
Wants to throw on 1st down off the play fake. Big fella. Almost in, but they'll say he didn't make it. Inches away
a fantastic play by the linebacker. He has such tremendous instincts. As soon as he sees run, he's coming downhill. He's got great speed. He gets you on the ground. That's why he's one of the best linebackers in the entire country.
And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup. Let's see what they find in the playbook for 3rd and long from the 43. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the tight end. He'll be stopped about 2 yards short of a first down.
One of the things I love about this defense is they just have such great awareness, and they're always communicating. They understood the down and distance. They knew exactly what they needed to do to make the tackle before snap. That is so well done.
How about that defense rising up and stopping him short on 4th down? Out of the gun to give to the back. Good execution. They move the sticks, and they've got it at the 33.
I'll tell you what, a few more runs like that, and defensively you start thinking more guys in the box, more big guys. I better stop this guy because he's unbelievable. He's a great job breaking off the big run. The OC's going to give him the ball some more.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. Wants to go up top. Over the middle. It's Smith.
This quarterback right now is in the groove. He's doing a nice job in he's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great job.
They tried to go smash mouth on 3rd and short, and it did not work against this defense.
Well, the offensive line had everybody blocked except the defensive end. He was able to sneak into the backfield.
Rushes on him. Oh, there we go. There he goes. And he'll take it in for a touchdown. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Offense changing the play. Looking to throw on 1st down. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
How nice is it as a defense when you can drop 7 guys in a coverage, only rush 4, and still get home? That makes you feel good if you're the D coordinator.
Looking to fire. Grab over the middle. It's Benson. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
When you play zone coverage, you got a wide receiver that's a beast. It becomes very, very difficult. Got to make sure I play physical and maybe even shade the side of the wide receiver having a lot of success.
Motion from the wide receiver. In the gun and looking to throw on 3rd down. Just a short pass to the tight end. He's pushed out now. Inside the 40 and the 38. These guys are out.
This defense is going to have their hands full because they're going to need to be comfortable with guys one-on-one on islands in the perimeter of the field. They're just going to have to make better plays than we saw right there. They knew this offense was going to try to be aggressive. Got to need better effort from back end for this defense.
Hit hard as he released the ball on that 1st down pass, and it never had a chance. Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. Looking to throw again. Right on target this time. And he won't quite get there, but boy, after that pickup, just a few inches to go for the first. An array of possibilities here. They probably feel good about their field goal chances from the 29, but they'd love to convert this 3rd and short. Off the play fake. Scrambling away. Changing, getting pushed down to the red checked out. Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And that pressure got to him quick. I mean, you talk about you want your quarterback to feel comfortable. Man, he didn't have time to feel comfortable. He didn't have time to get his feet set and get in the ground. This offensive line's got to do a better job.
This drive was clicking along, but after a couple of misfires, threatening to stall out on 3rd and 10.
Good.
From the gun, wants to pass. He's got the tight end. Boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short. Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll make some adjustments. Surging forward on the sneak.
I think those quarterbacks
Yeah,
big, strapping quarterbacks, but man, nowadays, dude, all you got to do is fall forward.
You gonna see
It's
how much
such a
you
hard
can
play to stop. So you see this all across all levels of football, and it's just a difficult play to stop.
The defense going to stop the clock.
So we gonna see how much you pay
They
attention
want
to
to make
them.
sure they have everybody on the same page. And now a chance to pull even. 1st and goal as we get late in the first half. Buys a little time. He wants it all. Going to the end zone. Picked off.
Who's on the way? On the chair, bro. This game be cheating.
He's at the tag.
Dude, you're just thinking hold him to 3, make him kick a field goal, don't let him score points. Heck no. You turn it into offense. What a play. Catches the ball in the end zone. Take it. No, sir. I'm taking this thing all the way back 100 yards to the house. What a play.
Things be
Guys, let's take a look at what's happening in a great college football matchup. Penn State is running away with things, and it's thanks in large part to an offense that's been firing on all cylinders. They're up by 17 over the Sharks. We'll circle back if anything big happens. You should know.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final
again, I can understand why you were talking about that. That person actually like knew your child.
Guys, looks like we
Like not knew them, but like you know, was
to
around
things
each other.
there in Los Angeles. And we'd be remiss if we didn't start this halftime report by giving props to this superstar tight end.
It hasn't really blown up yet because I think the NFL he did this right before NFL everything season. So again, they trying to do damage control and figure out what that should I put more water for your plant? It did drink water.
With that said, let's send it back to the guys at the LA Coliseum.
But yeah, he did this right before NFL season starts and shit like that too. So there's those kind of things about it. I thought it was odd. I didn't like it. I don't believe in mass shooters, even as a way of mental health trauma, crying outs and different things like that. I don't really necessarily blame a lot to NFL players in the past who have killed their families and stuff like that. So I honestly wasn't. I literally commented something on Adam Schefter's page today, like the idea that he even thought that he could ask for his brain to be studied
We're just
for
about ready
CTE.
to
I
start the
genuinely don't
second
give a
half.
fuck, actually. I don't think that you deserve to add yourself to that lineage of great human beings when you do something like
He'll
that.
start the
You didn't
return
earn that right.
inside.
I didn't earn my right to play in the NFL, so I don't earn my right to sit up here and be involved in nothing that happens going on. I can talk about being a sports fan and being a former football player that's in my life,
And let's see
but I
what
was
kind
never
of
an
ball
NFL
plays
player.
this
I don't deserve and I
offense
don't have
has
any right to claim
Tight
anything
game
that
as
those
we
great,
start the
legendary,
third quarter.
amazing
We'll
men
see what
have
type
gone
of
through
adjustments
or
they make at
earned
halftime.
by way of their trauma in order to do that. And you being a coward because you failed and turning around and taking other people's lives and going and putting that at the feet of the NFL is cowardice. I genuinely believe that. I think he's a coward. I think he's a piece of shit. I say that to his mama face. I'd say that to his shit if he had a gun on me. Because again, football didn't do this. You chose to do this. We all knew who we signed up for when we started to chase this game. Period. Whatever reason that you didn't make it is because why you didn't make it. I got one of my friends who is a champion. He played with legends. He played with City Hall of Famers. He played with future USC Hall of Famers. He played with dudes that may even possibly get the NFL. Played against at least players who probably gonna get that nod from the NFL because I don't know if they'll put any of those USC guys into the NFL Hall of Fame. But again, like he don't carry himself like that. He don't live his life like that. None of those things. That's on you. None of the varieties of some of the guys that I've played with who genuinely got some of them same things go about their life in any way like that. You just a weirdo who took advantage of the information that you know. You was never a football player. You just played football. You don't use the stories and the history of other people and what it is they do as an excuse for you to just hurt other people. People like Junior Seau and these people, they killed their families. They didn't go hurt people out in life. And again, if they could probably have gone back and done it 10 times over, they probably would have just harmed themselves and never would have did nothing to their family. We all know Junior Seau killed his family, actually. I don't believe that he did that, matter of fact. I think he only killed himself. Junior Seau, he was like one of the greatest linebackers in the history of the NFL. He went to USC. Junior Seau, S-E-A-U. He was like Samoa. He was a Pacific Islander. Played at USC. And again, like he was Channing Crowder's teammate. Channing Crowder always kind of talks a little bit about having played. I think they played together at least or whatever. But they always talk about him in the NFL. And again, he committed suicide. He killed himself. And it was a big deal because at the time when we all found out about it, it was like, bro, what the fuck? Like it was the first wave of NFL players at that time who started killing themselves like that. And he was a certified legend. And again, shot himself in the chest if I'm not mistaken, so his brain could get studied. So again, that's what I'm saying. You wanted to hurt people. You use wanting to hurt people as an excuse to then on the back end saying, oh, my brain studied for CTE. No, bro. These men, a good amount of them went and harmed themselves. Javon Belcher, when he killed himself at the NFL facility, if I'm not mistaken, he went to the facility and killed himself outside. These people didn't go hurt people like that. So it's like, nah, bro, I think even the idea that he's connected in any way to football or anything, no. He just wanted a story to make an excuse for why he did this shit. And let's not go ahead and start to murk that up with my beautiful game and these beautiful, hardworking people. Because like I said, bro, he did this shit on the eve of football season getting ready to start. So now the NFL has to deal with this whole narrative and whole conversation right now, and it's not about them. At all. That nigga has nothing to do with the NFL. I couldn't even tell you who the nigga was because if he was popping in the city like that when he played, we'd know who he was. There's nothing been popped on the feed about who he was. Where did Camille go to school? High school? Okay, yeah. If he was a nigga at Granada Hills, we would be seeing information about it. I never even, as a matter of fact, no cap. I never even heard of him. How old is Camille? Okay, again, what? That means that he was in high school around the same time as Audrey and me. I never heard of this nigga. Again, we went through this with Drew. But also, just because he played on the football team don't mean that he was good. And I'm not saying that he wasn't. I'm just saying, being a running back don't mean nothing. And the is different. Who? He rushed for 2016. He rushed for 661 yards in 2015 and 5 touchdowns as a junior. Like, all the stories that are coming up are all about him being a shooter. It's nothing about him being a football player, meaning that he was not relevant. And again, even while some reports suggest, not to cut you off, even while some reports suggest Tamura had a professional football career in Canada, that has nothing to do with the NFL. Go to the Canadian Football League and go do that shit. And you know that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because it's wrong. Some of that ain't no cap. Some of that is based in little man syndrome. Because the NFL never do nothing to you, and Colin Kaepernick taking his stance, and you choosing not to pay attention to nothing else that they had going on after that. They was 2-9, man. Come on, what is we talking about? You see what I'm saying? People want to go with the narrative that they want to go with and make it about whatever it is. Like as far as their narratives, he averaged 68 yards rushing per game. This man was not nothing. At a good school too, because Granada Hills always been a good school, like always been a good school. If I'm not mistaken, John Elway went to Granada Hills. That's an NFL Hall of Famer. You at a school that got an NFL, any schools that got NFL Hall of Famers like that, they stay good. Yeah, he went to Granada Hill, man. He went to Granada Hills. Not to cut you off, but that means when you have a player of that caliber who went on to not only be a NFL first-round pick, but also was a great college player, also was drafted into Major League Baseball, also went into the history of the NFL, also then became a legendary NFL general manager in his run at the end of his career, made Shannon Sharp. That school don't end up just being regular. You averaging 68 yards per game at Granada Hills, you ain't nothing. You just a killer. Back to Camille. I don't even like that that's becoming a thing. It's sad. That's fucked up. He's a murderer. His name don't need to be connected to nothing. And that needs to be the topic.
Like, I get the first chance to make a statement, to make the adjustments, to create some momentum for my squad right here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think it's so important for the defense to set a tone here early in the second half to get a nice drive going, build that confidence, and get your defense ready to come on out, get a stop, and change the complexity of this game.
not to cut you off, to think about that. The narrative is going to become that, not what comes out of the culture and all of that exceptionalism, for example, that people deal with and going to that school, and how that actually affects those kids, not only when they're there, because that's when it starts to develop, but long term. It's because they get out of school and don't nobody give a fuck what the fuck they done did to be exceptional, which I keep telling people, they don't give a fuck about this shit that y'all keep making relevant. You still got debt, way more debt than I got coming out of living my life and just dealing with my mom and dealing with my family and all this other stuff. You got real debt and can't get no job. No, these people. I'm just talking about the people that dealing in the culture of the exceptionalism with no relationships. And then again, don't be no failed athlete and don't nobody care. And then, like I said, don't be no failed athlete and you wasn't nothing. Imagine that. Imagine that you do all that shit for exceptionalism, then you turn around and go to college, don't end up being nothing, then you turn around and try and go to Canada, don't be nothing, just getting banged around, because I don't know what size he was, but again, odds is you just out there as a dummy. You just a body dummy. So now you did take on all that banging to your body and all of these things, but again, what did that end up meaning? What did that end up amount to? 5'7". I knew he was little. 5'7", 140 pounds. So you ain't nothing out there, baby. You really working off hard work and determination. Now I respect that you getting your little 68 yards. That ain't shit. You ain't going nowhere. You took your ass up to Canada if you did, and they was beating the brakes off you for what? And again, you may have genuinely ended your life with CTE. That has nothing to do with football. That has nothing to do with the NFL. That has nothing to do with any of these things. So again, those traumas and those struggles that you go through now with your inability to deal with the concept of, or your lack of exceptionalism because you didn't become exceptional, right? You was whatever little black dude that you was at the school and all of this other shit and all of these things, and then you end up not being nothing as a football player because that shit you was doing wasn't monumental. You was just surviving out there. That's what it turns into. So back to the concept of the school and things like that, like you said.
They better be able to funnel the football back to the middle of the field because this guy with this speed can kill you like he did on the outside run play there to the left.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Quarterback making checks. Lost the fire on 2nd down.
And for what? Like I said, like, for what though? If it don't end up amounting to nothing, then it's like...
There are few things that can impact the game more than the ability to hit the other team's quarterback, and that was a big play there.
I love the team defense on this play. One, excellent job getting to the QB and forcing the errant pass. And how about the second one on the back end, able to rally that football and pick it up?
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands. Get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a toss.
2nd down, he'll throw it.
No, it's not. And that's the problem.
Big tight end. And he's knocked down immediately.
And again, it's not suicide. That's the thing. It's not about suicide. It's about murderers. This person didn't commit suicide. They was a murderer and then took the easy way out, not going to trial. That's not a suicide. They didn't commit suicide. They murdered some people and then took the easy way out. What are you talking about? Just in general. Especially somebody cool.
Just short of the 10-yard line, they'll mark it at the 11. Down to the 12-yard line, it's first down. This time they'll go for the game. And this one will be stopped for no gain. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up the first without scoring. Back to pass on 2nd down. He's got it.
Yeah, that's not a fact. Just because they just Yeah, you can say plenty of things. You don't gotta say that, or make that the topic. Yeah. When what like I get what you're saying. Like, which topics are not the topic? But again, even that, like when we was talking.
The kickoff bounces through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. And now the offense will come onto the field again. That last drive was promising for a while, but you just can't mess it up at the end with the pick, Jesse.
No, you've got to be able to finish drives, especially in this game if you're going to win. And David, they've got to be able to eliminate the mental mistakes.
Yeah, and I don't think you get conservative or play it safe. You can trust your guy. I think you put the ball right back in his hands and Let him
And
do
then
his
as
thing.
well, like the family dynamics too. Again, you see what I go
Should be
through.
able to complete. They had the coverage they wanted. Receiver ran on the route. Just an inaccurate throw by the quarterback.
After the incompletion, they go back up top. Bringing the heat. He throws one to the left. And he's
Or you do though, and just because you have been through it, don't mean it'll make you necessarily strong because you went through in whatever manner that you did, or it don't not make you strong. That don't mean the other people not.
wide receiver comes in motion. Looking to throw on first down. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming. Behind the chains now on second and long. Making side adjustments here. Gonna look downfield again. Buying some time. It'll be incomplete. Tried to extend the play, but just couldn't find anybody open.
All right, you got to be careful here if you're the quarterback, right? Back-to-back incompletions. You've had a nice drive. You're still in field goal range, though. Think about this. You cannot take a sack. That has got to be what the play caller is reminding his quarterback about in the headsets right now. If it's not there, throw this thing away because we've got a chance to win this offense.
Just outside the red zone for picking up the first down. They'll start at the 22. Here's his offense with a fresh set of downs. Motion from the back. Looking downfield for first down.
Yeah, people do gotta
Quarterback
find out.
extends the play. Gets rid of it. That one never had a chance. Incomplete.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended
Which I think a lot of
target was
people do.
not
But
open.
they
That's why that one
they
fell.
love being entitled to feel like because they're American, they deserve whatever. And I don't think it's necessarily
And a good
that.
job
I
making
think that's
these
how
there. They
it
stop
should
it
be.
after just a few.
I don't think it's just because I'm
They were able
American.
to make the completion, but he had to pick his way for just a little bit. Needed a little
Nor
more
just because I'm
help to
American,
spring
my
it
opinion
first
down.
down.
I think I can speak
Yeah,
on
if
some
you're gonna
American
have
shit,
success
but
when you throw it outside
you know,
like
I
that,
also
you're
have to
gonna need some
understand
more
that my
blocking.
opinion ain't the opinion.
Give the defense
My
credit
opinion
where
is to
they
be
were able to
understood and be validated because I got the freedom to give my opinion. But if somebody don't agree with my opinion, that's their right too. And I gotta be able to respect it just because I see it that way. They don't have to see it that way, but even if they don't see it that way, I can be valid and they can be not agreeing. That's okay. It's not. It could be two truths to one reality.
Wants to throw on first
And I
down.
think sometimes people miss that because they're gonna be a little more having things align with how they want to feel about stuff. You gotta embrace the fact that when it comes down to it, it don't gotta be. It doesn't have to feel how you want to feel. Even with these people doing me that way, my biggest thing is I don't feel like I did you that way. So can you at least show that you care or seem to care about where it is I'm coming from? Like you speak on, like I wouldn't want to make you feel that way about this or that. Like exactly like that. All right, cool. So we exist in the mutual understanding that that's not how we trying to make each other feel. And again, if it is a situation where I may make you feel that way, can we communicate on that so you can see where I'm coming from versus automatically cast it as I'm trying to make you feel the same way, or automatically now suddenly like I'm not, you know, I get alienated now because I may have done something in a similar manner but without those same intentions, because again, we're all same. So we all gonna have moments where we gonna make similar decisions or mistakes, right? It's about what your intentions was and how you go about learning from that. If the first time you ever did something is the last straw for somebody, then they was really not looking they wasn't really looking to work and cooperate with you anyway. That's what I learned with like Elizabeth. If that was the first thing that ever went down between us two of us, was me basically like coming forward to her about what it is, like the reality of what was going on with us was. That was like the first time anything ever happened with us. So if that's the first time that anything ever happened to us and that's how you react, then you was never for me anyway, because you never planned to work with me about anything. You was always going to jump bad on me. You was always going to be looking for a reason to cast a judgment on me or whatever it is anyway. So like I said, I was making a video talking about that. Like she had punished her baby daddy and her son because her baby daddy wasn't faithful to her. And then when the dynamic came about her not communicating, suddenly it was all about how it is I knew what she had been through and all of these things. But again, like, I didn't do nothing to you. I actually communicated with you from the beginning as if I owed you an answer. In your response, you acted as if somebody didn't tell you the truth or wasn't transparent with you, and you turned around and started to begin to demonize what I went through. But again, it didn't matter. You was always gonna feel that way about anything that I did anyway. I was gonna have to essentially not have nothing ever happen and go on in my life anyway.
And they just got to make a play. They just got to get something positive to happen.
And so when you grow to learn those kind of things, you kind of see that. You realize people gonna do what it is they want to do. It's not never gonna actually be about how it is they want you to feel about nothing. They gonna do what they choose.
To win this football game, it just needs to start with one spark.
They couldn't make the connection on
So
second
it's just got to be that they
3rd and 7.
choose to care about how what they do is going to affect you as long. And again, it's hard to do that sometimes because we all be going through our own shit too. Like sometimes we be really going through it mentally as human beings, and then make it hard to be able to be considerate of somebody else because you got your own shit going on. And people can't understand that sometimes too. It's like, man, nah, like you gotta understand, I'm mentally fucked up. Me being considerate of what you got going on is fucking me up more, not because you my problem, but maybe because there's other people in my situation that make it harder for me to just be solely considerate of just, for example, just dealing with you and all of the trauma and the things that put it on my dynamic and my situation. It just make me mentally collapse under the pressure in a manner that I'm not worried about, not even myself. So how could you be mad at me because I'm not considering you? It's a bigger problem that I'm not even being worried about myself. Like again, somebody that's addicted to drugs. How you gonna be mad at somebody addicted to drugs and how that affects you? Motherfucker, I'm addicted to drugs. And this is not addicted to drugs on some leisurely just smoke. I'm addicted to some shit that may actually get me up out of here. How can you be sitting up here trying to talk to me about how that affects you? Again, then it affects me more. And then I go back and fall back into that shit now because I'm further reflecting on who it is I am or what it is I am or what it is the responsibility is or what it is standard I gotta stand up to. That's tough. Especially if it's a behind closed doors addiction. Especially somebody that can make things seem completely normal that's not. So again, people that's dealing with suicide too. There's so many different things that they deal with in relation to addiction and the struggles with those different kinds of things as well, that they go through so often and people don't be knowing about those things. So again, it ain't cowardice. They did a great job of keeping that shit from you, and they probably tried to work on it and get better than that shit, and they weren't able to get better than it. And so then at the end of the day, they struggled all the way out of the damn shit, and then they gave up. But again, didn't give up because they were giving up because they said, man, you know what, it'll probably be better for everybody. I don't even bring this to them and have them dealing with this. Then I continue to try and have people figure this out or expect people to be able to be who it is I need them to be. Honey, hey. Really?
We're here late. They're still throwing it deep because this quarterback's thrown 3 touchdown passes. He's proven to his coach that he can get it done and he can make the right decisions and not put his opponents in harm's way. And that's why you're still seeing him throw it vertically downfield.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
The play action fake.
Yeah, I will say, I like the way that I build my playbook on college football because, you know, funny enough, like I am building little systems and how I do this. So what I ended up doing was I went and I like copied all the formations and stuff out of the playbooks from the old game, and I took pictures of them. You know, I was using my own screenshot of pictures on my computer. So it made it. I was able to build my playbook in half the time. It usually take me like 2 weeks to really get it down. It was built in a week. And so I was able to add a whole bunch of new stuff. So the way it is now, like it's actually really, really good. But it's funny, they make it to where it's like you actually have to set things up, like the audible and adjustments and stuff like that. So that's one of the things that I have to do. But it's actually really, really good. When we're operating, we do get down the field really, really fast. And it's hard to stop. That's okay. So we're kind of let's get away from it.
Fourth down right there. Getting it, the reward, that was an unbelievable play. And how about this coaching staff putting their faith in their players to come up with the execution and make it happen?
They'll use the running game on first and goal. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
So on offense, you've got to find a way to put 6 up on the board. You know that in this game, field goals may not get it done. So big-time players make big plays in big games. Who can you rely on right now to get you a touchdown?
Can the defense stop them again on second and goal? 2-9, ready. And he is stopped, not getting close to the end zone. Line of scrimmage still at the 3. This offense has gone haywire on these last 2 plays in the red zone. Can they set things right on third and goal? They'll move the wide receiver. They'll look to throw on third and goal.
That was one of the things. And again, we'll talk about that on man, Michael Irvin started his YouTube channel. I think I could find a way to get on Michael Irvin YouTube channel. His channel got 50,000 viewers, but his videos be getting like 200 views. Somewhere there. Even though it's probably going to, this next video with Deion going to blow up. But he went and got the exclusive interview with Deion a little more in depth about what Deion had went through with his health. What he had cancer, I think, in his like gallbladder and stuff like something like that, or they had to remove his bladder and make him like a new bladder and stuff like that. He was talking about that, like dealing with peeing in the bed and stuff like that. Again, like remember when that clip was out and they asked Shador what was going on with his dad, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't know." They really didn't know. The day of when Shador and them was going through that shit at the draft, Deion knew that he was gonna have to have a surgery. He literally said it. He was like, bro, I knew when it's in one of them clips where y'all see me and I'm looking and I'm making a face and stuff like that. He was like, I'm literally standing there. He told my girl, he said, I'm literally standing there and I'm thinking like, dang, bro, I gotta have a surgery in the next 2 weeks. I gotta have a surgery in the next such amount of time. Like he literally said that. He's standing there thinking that, and I'm like, bro. And then he said it like Irvin, even Michael Irvin kind of alludes to it. He was like, so why you was watching them? And he said, yeah, do my boys like that. And so, you know, right now it's been a whole conversation about like, is Deion healthy and what's been going on with him and why he's been away and stuff like that. Well, again, he was recovering from surgery from cancer. He said he went to get a checkup on his foot and his blood clots, and they did the blood work, came back after the blood work, and was like, hey, can you tell him to come back? And it was like one of the things where he was like, they was trying to get into his chemo and stuff like that, and he was saying like, nah, like my journey had been, at least what I had thought, and I believe is that my journey had been a journey a lot about football players and athletes and helping them and all these other things. He said, nah, man, cancer touches everybody, touches every family. He said, it's touched me now. And I'm like, dang, so Deion's gonna become a cancer advocate, which is fucking crazy. Me too. Yeah, but I'm kind of sad. I'm worried because I know what this means in the bigger sense. Deion gonna finish his life coaching. He gonna pass. He gonna pass coaching, and that sucks because he's not gonna give up on coaching. He's not gonna give up on these kids. But within him not giving up on coaching and not giving up on these kids, that also means let me get you some more. Him not giving up on coaching and not giving up on these kids also means that he's not gonna walk away from this fight just because, you know, this and that. He really look at it and believe this is the journey that is bigger than he's fighting for. Don't nobody know what we going through. Again, not like that. It is that, but dealing with my, me dealing with my sister, right? It's so many moments and so many experiences where it's like, dang, bro, can I just get a break to continue to go through and get over the stuff that I've already gone through? And I gotta go. Right? You feel like you feel like you're doing good. You feel like you're doing great. So it's like, I'm showing that to you because, again, I think that there's something for us to take to it. I think as well, like I'm saying, where it's like people have this conjecture over, at times conjecture over how it is, or even for me, like I appreciate the game, look at the game, right? Like what your dad said. That was so interesting. I never really feel no type of way when people say nothing. And it's funny because I don't feel no type of way about it, but I'm always big on how it is. I kind of pay attention to like the words. And again, I know I'm big on how it is. I think what I'm trying to understand now these days, I just believe what I understand. You don't gotta feel how I feel. So when your dad said what he said as far as like the idea of me having like a feeling towards the game of the NFL, right? The business of the NFL because of like the idea that they didn't accept me. First of all, God didn't even hire the work for me. It's not the argument. So, there's that. And then secondly, I think, like I said, we live in a world where people misunderstand passion. One, because they choose to. Two, because they actually never had anything to do with passion. That's not the conversation. That's what we're talking about. You never, I said, you joined that. You never really spoke. I said, with, I know. I said one of the things we were talking about, and that was the topic when he and I were talking, or whatever it is his actual passion. He spoke about joining the military, but you joined that, like I said, that necessarily don't go because your passion is like that. That was just what it is. You decided that you wanted to, right, for whatever reason at the time that you decided to. But that's different than what it is your passion around when it was I did what I love. I love what I do, and I still connected to that thing. I get to love it every year, every day. I don't have no amount of no age versus again. A little bit of turning down. You'll never pass the capacity that Bill soon will be. At the end of the day, like I love it. Like I said, I realized that I always wanted to be a journalist from the longest, right? I didn't know that about myself as a young person, but I've grown to learn about that about myself as an adult, right? And so I look at it and I think, yeah, that was one of the things that brought life to me about hearing this thing with Dion. And that's what it's about. When your dad like mentioned that, for me, I laugh to myself and it generates that competitiveness. But it's like, because again, like, you probably ain't love nothing that much to where you can understand the ins and outs of it on a deeper level, right? To speak with that passion, to want to wake up, start your day, and you want to talk to everybody again. Make me miss my mom. Today, this thing with Dion made me miss my mom, because this is a thing that her and I will talk about in depth. As much as yes, I can talk about it with Chris. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about it with you, and we're gonna be able to get there with it. It's something different to talking about it with my mom too, within all of the things, because she got a deeper understanding in the greater sense. I'm talking about it with my dad too. You know what I'm talking about. So it's like one of those kind of things. It's those kind of things too. So I just think, I don't know, maybe people choose to miss it on purpose because it's easier to do that than it is to allow yourself to actually give it. Right? Because again, I don't even think I give that. I think I give just love the game. I love sports media. I think that's what you would take from me. You would take that. I love football for sure. And then again, like, I really love sports media and talking about sports. Like, that's it. That's all I think you should get it as well. Like, because that's all I ever give as far as talking about that. The passion of talking about sports, the passion of the game is something that resonates with me. Like, I don't really think I don't really know how you can see it any other way. But that's what I'm saying. That's just because you want to have a hate for those things. But, you know, that's your own little man syndrome. You know? So you wouldn't know. Like I said, man, same thing as Drew. You wouldn't know nothing about that. You wouldn't know. You don't really get it, because you don't really have that. And again, not me, not like I'm saying.
How can we keep this thing ticking away? Like, going down inbounds, you're doing exactly that.
Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. They keep nudging it closer, but now it's third and goal.
Dedicated in this world, that's real.
And he takes this from inside the 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. So we'll see the offense on the field to start this drive. He threw a pick the last time they had it. Now they have to take care of the football. Wasting no time throwing on this drive.
And then, you know, we can't play the holier than thou game with you. You know, you and my uncle both got y'all shit, but only my uncle and one. You know the truth. No. I was peeping that when he was like asking, like, it was very clear he was kind of asking though on some people in your family, because he was trying to figure out if shit went bad. He was looking to hear how many people shit went bad for him. I'm like, man, don't do that. What about such and such? I always thought they was weird. Did they interview? Even when it's here like somebody a lesbian or gay. Oh yeah, like that's not, man. You shouldn't get satisfaction out the idea that somebody is lesbian or gay, because that fits your judgment system of whatever. Again, because you judge people who are like that based on them not being happy with themselves to an extent, or their liberalism or whatever, but it's like that ain't even it.
of the offense.
No, when you started this morning, the first thing I was thinking, when you started this morning, the first thing I was thinking, I was like, dang, man, here come to go into your own little bubble era. Because, again, they're still trying to be working with people and figure it out with people. Folks still, like, whatever. I'm like, I feel like that's just how it is, man. Shit, this is when we begin to learn that thing, too.
They are running out of time here. They need to get the ball back. They'll line up for the onside kick. The defense calls the timeout. Their second of the day. Okay, ready?
Yeah, because, again, what is your response going to be? Did them things happen to me because I let them things happen to me? Or is it going to be, you know, keep it real about people and bad decision making by themselves and me being accountable and just life? Like, what you going to do?
It's got to be tough right now on defense. You need to find a way to get a stop. And you haven't been able to do that in the fourth quarter. Even points, you just gave up a touchdown on the last drive. You need a turnover. You need to do something right now to stop this momentum.
They've got it down to the 32. First and 10 coming. Use the play fake. Now to throw. And to get rid of it. He just got rid of the football. Not sure what he was doing. They're going to get him for grounding.
Bro, you can try, you can want to kill yourself through sexualization of yourself too, bro. People are good.
When the coach accepts it, they will take the penalty.
No, I'm just saying, like,
And now on second down for this offense.
like just the situations and the circumstances you put yourself in, or the ways in which you abuse yourself even after that. But go ahead. That's what you're talking about.
Finds the tight end. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense.
Yeah, and Palmer, I don't know what his grade's going to be, but hitting over 400 yards on the day, I think coaches are going to be pretty impressed with the day this young man had.
No doubt. I think for defensive coordinators moving forward now, you're going to be charged with having to find answers to try to slow this guy down. Today, we've seen this defense try blitzing.
Yeah, bro, like, I don't know that.
Man coverage, they mix up personnel. None of it is
I
working.
do not know that this nigga is a piece of shit. Or that again, it's some shit inside of him. He gonna be triggered. It's gonna trigger him to become that. I don't know that.
Three so far in this one. Tries to slip. He's got enough for the first down, and that ought to be enough to put them in victory formation for the rest of this one. Couldn't ask for better starting field position for this offense. Looking downfield on first down. Wide receiver screen. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They're dealing with a second and long.
Y'all was all here.
Back to pass. Here comes the heat.
All here. So what did I say about
He sets up this offense first and goal from the center.
Yeah, your mom. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I was just thinking that. Yeah, and again, look how your mom has dealt with you based on knowing that they was all in your life and all that shit went on. So
To hang in the pocket and make plays for this offense.
And while this game is all but decided, the offense's job is to score. They might try to score again. Wants to go up top. Pocket break. And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18.
I think defenses sometimes get frustrated and you want to get blitz happy and because you give up yards. In this day and age, you're going to give up yards. Who cares? This is the area you're going to bow up. Nice job on first down, stopping them. A couple more downs here to stay aggressive.
Quarterback floating away from pressure. That will be the final play as they make the stop, and the clock has expired here. The old coaching cliche, go player no every week, and for the first week they get it done.
Great start to the season. That's what you want. You want to come out, find a way to win. Was it perfect? Absolutely not.
Is she that way?
Find things to work on throughout the season. But 1-0, that's where you want it to be.
And I think if you're the coaching staff of this winning team, you've got to like what you just seen.
I don't know. Like I feel like.
Tremendous
I feel
effort.
like we'll go.
Guys flying around, flying with the football, trying to make the plays necessary to win this game. He definitely made a few mistakes, but that's what practice is for. And if you're the coaching staff, I think you're very, very positive right now moving forward.
if you had a genuineness about you that seemed to care about how it is I would feel about some shit, you didn't seem to care about that shit. So this is how I feel now. Let me show you this other side of me. That's what it is. It's not the opposite where it's like kind of like, nah, honestly, I just want you to think I'm better than this other person. In order for me to get off of it, like I said, we gonna definitely live on that holier than thou complex. I'm better than this person because I chose to do this versus this person choosing to do this. And yeah, because I ain't really trying to get into all your life existential crises, especially if you ain't being solid about certain shit. I don't really care about that. Yeah, that's interesting. About him and his brother. No, because that's not fair. We can't. None of us could treat each other that way. That's not. Again, bro, we not entitled to treat people like shit because we went through something. Going through something is not a badge. Is not a authorization card to treat people crazy. Like it actually don't work like that. understand. It's like you don't need to force yourself into the dynamic of having to do something. Like again, you know you understand the manner in which it is now, not in a bad way. Mm-hmm. I mean, and yeah, and I mean, I think that the thing at the end of the day is we got to remember is we have to balance it. People got to be able to deal with their uncomfortable things in dealing with us, and we have to be able to do, you know, the opposite as well. And so I think it just comes down to understanding and knowing like how much of it is things that you feel like you can't get over versus how much of it is things that you feel like okay, that's something that I can manage, like you said, in whatever spurts that I'm gonna be around, whoever I'm gonna be around, kind of thing, versus the opposite. Like I think people tend to forget that. People always want people to act how they want them to act. They're not gonna act how you want them to act. You got to be able to realize how it is you deal with actually being an adult around people who you don't agree with, or um, you know, the way in which they think about things don't necessarily go with how you view things. But there's nothing wrong with that. Hmm? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, it doesn't mean that there's no standards. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because I mean, I guess people don't realize that about me. I'm good to, I like being around, but man, I'm like LeBron. I'm finna disappear after that, man. Y'all ain't finna be seeing me all the time. I got stuff to do, stuff I want to do. I want to go be quiet, all kinds of shit. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know when I feel the type of way. Now, what I will tell you is whether Coach Zabin tend to say when people get to saying like that is why is you saying that? Unless what? No, we don't think that. So why is we saying that then? Because if you start saying it unsolicited, it lets people know what? Maybe you don't like me. We're not getting into that. So let me be. That's it. That's it. Because again, I wasn't really under the impression that your dad did or didn't like me, but I also don't care. So, you know, sometimes when it be like that, that's interesting. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that. I mean, you know how it is. I am though. At the end of the day, I may understand and know exactly how it is RG is with a variety of things, but that don't mean that I'm gonna stand on the business that I stand on. But I know RG do got a good head on her shoulders in so many ways because of that same thing. I just know that also in the opposite and similarly, the reason why Camille feels the type of way that she feels but she don't understand is very similarly to how I look at Audrey and how Audrey chooses to want to look at it but without understanding for context of the situation is the understanding and the reality around just like being an adult. They got a high expectation because they like, oh, well, you were supposed to be, you are this person. So my expectation is for you to exist as this person or be this example. And they don't really get sometimes that it's like, bro, in order for me to be that example, sometimes I gotta fall short because it's not about this particular thought process that you having right now. It's about the bigger picture that don't nobody even see.
will just take a knee.
Drive will start at the 25-yard line.
We're going to see a repeat. Remember, last time these teams played, it got ugly.
Chris, that's one of those games you just hate to see in a rivalry game when it gets so one-sided. Hoping today to see this defense play much better.
They're going to the air on the first play. Good throw, complete to the tight end. Defense surrounds it. Just a short gain on that completion.
That's what makes this tight end so dangerous. You can flex him out into that slot position. He shows you his versatility. He can be an inline guy that can block, but here he shows you what he can do with his hands.
That's a nice wrap up there by the junior.
In an era that we live in right now, everybody wants to spread the field around, try to create space, try to create one-on-one matchups, and the defense has countered over the years by trying to play out wide. But here's a great example. The defense has the ability to play wide, but still be solid at the line of scrimmage and not give up big run plays.
Out of the shotgun.
This is exactly how
Give me
you
that.
slow down the momentum and the rhythm of an offense. You got to get some tackles for loss and some sacks. This time, they come up with a sack by getting after that quarterback.
Special teams on the field now. Here comes a punt.
Returning his tackle by this Packers team.
Great wide receiver here coming off a career performance last game. He was really unstoppable. Bouncing around all week, looking to build on that and do even better this time.
I think last week the thing that stood out when you looked at the film was he had a lot of one-on-one
squander this chance.
First play of the drive, they're going to throw the football.
He can't escape. It's a sack. Nothing is more gratifying for a defense to be able to sit back and play zone and still get pressure on the quarterback with your defensive front.
See if the offense can overcome that sack. Second and long. Running back looking to throw. Deep shot toward the end zone. Got momentum after scoring that touchdown. Now the kickoff team out there to kick it away. The kickoff a little too hot to handle, goes through the end zone for a touchback. Offense makes its way on the field to get the drive started. And the first play of the drive now from the 25. They'll hand it off. And they'll stop him after a short gain.
Defense does a really nice job here of being able to contain that run game. Just 2 yards. This, to me, this changes the playbook a little bit now for the offense. Guy calling plays at second and 8, that's a different deal. Now he's got to probably thinking about going through the air instead of staying in the ground.
An effective play, good for a first down to the 35.
Well, you could tell the quarterback knew exactly what he wanted to do with the football. He was going to that in route no matter what. He hits it for a nice game.
And on the carry, he's heading left. Receiver able to make the stop after a short gain. Well, Coach, you played in rivalry games. I'm sure it's inspiration, but how do you manage the emotion?
Well, I think you need great leadership from the team. Sometimes teams don't handle the emotions of it. The game can get sideways on you. The teams that play the best in rivalry games are the teams that have the best leaders to keep them focused on the task at hand.
To throw, it's Murphy. Looking to scramble. Quarterback on the move, trying to make something happen. He'll get out of bounds after a solid gain on that run.
This is why I love the quarterbacks that can make things happen. Here you have an opportunity to try to create. Nothing's there. Play breaks down. Instead of just throwing it away, he sits back, sees nothing downfield, decides to be able to pick up the first down by himself. Impressive run to pick up the first, keep this drive moving.
On the move now. Nobody open downfield. He just throws it away.
And the defense took everything away from him. What do you expect him to do? He can't force the ball into traffic and potentially throw the interception. Does a good job of getting out of the pocket, away from the pressure, and just throw the ball away. See what happens on this next down.
Takes the ball and hits the left side. Went up the middle, but stopped.
This defense is strong up front. Linebackers are flying downhill to make plays against this run game. Now they get this offense to another third down. Now you pressure that quarterback and try to build a lead.
Let's go, Frank.
Up the line, a long way to go for the first down. Needing this crucial conversion right now. Deflects the ground game. Takes a handoff. They say after a 4-yard gain, it brings up a full down. Coach has made the call. Even though he's seeing this drive, the offense is out there to go for it. Taken at the 33, that's good enough for a first down.
Boy, the defense had everybody accounted for except the running back. You can really feel the quarterback having to work through his progressions. He came off his primary, finally finds the running back, and they pick up the first down.
Let's go.
First and 10 play coming up.
Single, single. Defense, blitz now. Let's go.
In a run, it's Smith. He goes nowhere. Stop cold behind the line of scrimmage. Been a really solid drive, and now a challenge here coming up on 2nd and 13. They'll change the pre-snap look now. And the wideout goes in motion. That's a flag for the wideout. On that drive, not see that very often from this guy. Not going to be easy here. Backed up the ball and go for a first down. Now on 3rd and very long, looking to throw. Moves out of the pocket. Looking to scramble. He'll step out of bounds. Defense keeps that to a very short gain.
This is a nice job here by this defense on 3rd down. They take away all the options downfield, and they recognize the quarterback scramble. He almost comes up with his first down, but they keep him short to set up his 4th point.
He finds his target. He has the first.
Well, it's always a gamble to go for it on 4th down when you're already in field goal range, but it looks like they won't rehash this decision when it's all said and done. It's a first down.
They keep him guessing with a run. Here comes a crucial 2nd down play. Every yard tough to find out in the red zone. And up here for the shotgun. So they reach the end zone after a marathon march. How about the execution in that drive, Kurt?
Well, I know a lot of times people get excited for the big plays. They're fun to watch. But what's impressive to me is an offense that can put together a long drive and then finally cap it off with a touchdown. That way you don't have to always rely on the big plays. That's a great drive.
He's caught up. Here's the 2-point try and take an 8-7 lead now. After putting up the touchdown, the kickoff team is out there to put it away. So no return here. He takes it in the end zone, and they'll begin the drive at the 25. Offense cross out onto the field, looking to start a drive here. Great possession last time. They punch it into the end zone, and the defense come up with a stop this time. Here comes the first down pass attempt. The pocket breaking down. Breaks into the clear. There he goes. They'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Looks like a man is down in the field after the last play, so we'll take a timeout. Gain moves the ball to the 40. It'll be first down. Out of the shotgun. That's a nice stiff on doesn't produce much. Just a small gain.
See, that's how you limit what an offense wants to do. This time, the defense just won the battle up front at the line of scrimmage, not giving up any big plays. Everybody's gap sound. It's really solid defense on that.
And he will be stuffed for no gain.
Well, the defense had everything covered downfield. The quarterback tries to check it down, but how about the defensive speed to be able to sniff that out?
The offense facing a tough conversion here. 3rd and long from the 42. Big back to the field for the first down. Looking for the wideout. Makes the ball.
And you just continue to see the chemistry between these two. And they told us yesterday in our production meeting, they spent hours and hours of working and developing that chemistry and that rhythm by throwing together throughout those summer months. And it's starting to really pay off. He's become his security blanket for the quarterback, especially on 3rd down, getting him the ball.
Clock is running. Last minute in a very entertaining first quarter play. From the shotgun, here's the inside give. He picks up the first down before they get the ball.
Just about a great battle here at the line of scrimmage. Good push by the offensive line, and the back does enough to be able to pick up the first down.
How aggressive do you get on 1st and 10? Drops back from the shotgun, looking for an open man. Pass is called in over the middle. They make the
first down. Probably the sideline, but just a short gain.
Well, you got third down. The offense has the advantage here on third down to be able to get the ball downfield. They make the completion, but this defense is just flying around. They make the catch, but they have nowhere to go after.
And it's good right down the middle. With that, they retake the lead.
Well, Chris, it's a nice kick here to polish off that drive with at least 3 points up on the board.
Following the field goal, the kickoff team is out there now. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone. So a touchback will start at the 25. The first play of the drive now from the 25. Here's the handoff. Sacco with a strong tackle there.
Hey, it's a great job of this defense containing the running game. If I'm calling the plays, I'm not abandoning the running game just yet. I think it's important to have some sense of balance. So throwing and running is essential. Stick with it.
It's incomplete. The catch made. They'll bring it down quickly. A short pitch and catch. Get a little bit closer to the mark. Third down now. Completion. Trying to run for the first down. Tackle, but only after picking up a fresh set of downs.
Well, that's mano-a-mano right there. Offensive line knowing exactly their assignment, getting a hat on a hat, and that back to just exactly where he needed to go to extend this drive. That's a first down.
Bringing pressure. He's looking to scramble.
Chris, I love the patience here on the quarterback. He's waiting for something to happen downfield, but it's not there. Then you see the athletic ability to be able to pick up some good yards.
Less than a yard to go as they come to the line on second down. Stringing first downs together now. They've got it at the 48. Back to pass. It's Murphy. Looks to his right side there for the completion. They bring down the receiver, but that's a nice gain on that play. Here comes play number 6 in this drive. Spin on the run. And they tackle him, but not before he picks up the first.
And that's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. Don't forget, good blocking up front by the big fellas. And this running back, he just seems to have a nose for that first down marker. A few more runs like this, and he's going to be getting into a rhythm for sure.
Let's go.
And that run, good for first down yardage. The drive moves on.
Defense, one stop. White's winning up.
On the run, it's Smith. You make the tackle, but the game moves the ball to the 28.
Boy, you keep getting these chunk runs by this offense. They keep moving the chains and putting a lot of pressure on this defense, especially on a long drive like this. This defense looks clearly worn down.
On first and 10, they're looking to throw the ball. Finds a man to the left. Big catch downfield. They bring him down at the 13. This offense really threatening now to score. It'll be first down.
Chris, how about the offensive balance these last couple of plays we're seeing from these guys? Not only are they balanced, but the explosiveness. A big run followed up by a big play through the air. And it puts a lot of pressure on this defense.
Coming to the line on second down. This is important. They want to avoid a third
White
and
53. White 53.
long. Keeping it on the ground here. Escapes the pocket. He rises and decides to just throw the ball away there on third down.
It's an incompletion. It's a nice job by the quarterback. I know it didn't pan out, but the most important thing is he didn't turn the football over and he didn't take a sack. It'll give your kicker a chance chance to put some points on the board if they opt for the field goal here on fourth down.
Pass rush closing in. But it's incomplete. The defense makes a fourth down stop.
A drop pass here on this fourth down play. Everything was perfect. The execution is there. The route is nice. The ball is on the money. And all he has to do is catch it, and it's a first down. And he trusts this one to come back to home.
They make the tackle to that. What's the call here? The drive begins with excellent field position. Keep it up the middle.
Chris, I know it's not a huge game. You didn't pick up the first down, but still early in this game, you never abort this running game. You keep working. It's kind of like a body blow in a boxing match. Keep wearing the defense down, and eventually you can hit a big one.
Hands off to the left.
Chris, that play just didn't have much of a chance at all for the snap. With the hands this time, there's nowhere to go. It's almost like the defense was anticipating the play call, and they put themselves in a position to come up with a nice tackle for a loss.
First down, they're going to throw the ball. Quarterback gets a target on the right. It's complete. Down bounds after a decent game. It's the 2-minute timeout. What's been a really competitive game so far. Let's see if the offense can take the lead before the break. Second down after that completion. The DB's right near the line now, showing good coverage. It's a nice tackle there by the senior.
Changing things up schematically, help that offensive line, and help that poor quarterback before he gets killed.
Return is brought down. That's the start of the next drive. Here's the first play of the drive now, set up at the 24. To the air, it's Murphy. Delivers complete to the right side. They bring him down after a short game there.
Anytime we have a chance to get this wide receiver isolated and get the ball in his hands, we do.
Pass complete. It's second down now. Receiver in motion now. Quarterback looking to pass here on second down. Looking to scramble. Trying to get the throw off. See if the offense can move the chains. Quarterback in the shotgun here on third down. On the move now. Finds the tight end for the completion. That'll pick up first down yardage very near the 40. Here comes the bunch formation.
Chris, how about this? I mean, there's nobody open initially. He rolls out to be able to get out of the pocket and away from the pressure, and eventually finds the big tight end for those positive yards in that first down.
Quarterback making some changes at the line. On 1st and 10, they'll look to throw it. Pressure is coming. For the receiver. And he'll run out of bounds, picking up a few yards on the way.
I love the call here by the offensive coordinator, getting this wide receiver involved early in the game. Obviously a long way to go, but you want this receiver to make a big impact today and get his confidence established early.
So one more play here before halftime. running out of time in the pocket. You can't come up with it there. What's going to do it? Time runs out in the first half.
And that will do it for the first half here. Kevin Connors now has our halftime update.
Man, great energy in that building. There always is when these two get together. And a fun first half between these rivalries. And a lot of coaches will say limiting the big plays and maybe hitting on a few yourself is key. But I'm more of a move the chains guy. Give me efficiency every day of the week and twice on Saturday. The offensive unit that subscribes to the less is more philosophy might be the one that leaves here today with a big bad penalty. That said, let's get back to the field and our guys in the booth to see who comes out on top of this rivalry contest.
And they'll kick it off to begin the second half. Fields it inside the 5-yard line. And he stopped at the 19. Good job by the coverage team. Offense comes out to start this drive. Here's the first play of the drive now to begin at the 19. First play of the third quarter was a handoff. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup.
Hey, listen, you don't always have to have big plays to be successful. It's a nice, solid game here. Keeps you on schedule, and you get ready for that next play.
Defense is coming after him. Ball is hauled in. They get him down. Not much of a gain on that conversion.
A lot of times when a quarterback sees man defense, he wants to get the ball out of his hands as quickly as possible. Put the ball in the hands of his playmakers. Hope that he can break a tackle or two on the outside and get a big play.
The pocket breaking down. And it's thrown away now.
Man, on your own side of the field, you're playing a risky game here. 3rd and short. Your goal should just be keep this drive alive. The best way you can sometimes is just hand the ball off to your running back and have him get behind that offensive line and go to work. Curious to see what they do now here on this 4th and short.
Quarterback adjusting now to the defense. Trying for a 4th down completion. Quick throw to his receiver. It's a 4th down stop. Offense will take over across territory. Offense makes its way on the field, ready to start the drive.
I think they're going to end up regretting going for this one, Chris. I wouldn't have gone for it. What's wrong with playing it away? Again, I get being aggressive, but you got to be smart on when to go for it and when to throw it.
They'll try a pass here. Downfield. They get him all in the first half of the 14. Heads up, the offense now operating in the red zone. They're going to run. Spin out of the tackle. Really solid first down gain. Was just short of the mark. So maybe a chance here to take a downfield shot. So here comes second down now. Every play important down here in the red zone. They'll hand it off. Going absolutely nowhere. That'll be a loss of a play. Crucial. 3rd down coming up in the red zone. Can he keep the drive going, or will they have to settle for 3?
Into the red zone, though.
Kickoff team out there. They are fired up after just scoring a touchdown. So no return on this one. Ball just bounced into the end zone for a touchback. Offense on the field to take over.
last possession, they came up empty, went for it on fourth down in their end, and got stopped. And the first play of the drive now from the 25. They run it down the field towards the carry. Just a small gain. We'll get it 2nd and 9. Offense trying to find a way to get this drive going. It's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Moving the receiver around pre-snap. Off the play fake. Looking to throw the football. Moves out of the pocket. Trying to throw it outside. Looking to throw it on 3rd and very long. Lets it go quickly. This is got momentum after scoring that touchdown. Now the kickoff team out there to kick it away. And it's fielded. Can the returner make something happen here? Solid job by the coverage team. They bring him down at the 16. For the first play of the drive, they'll set up at the 16. Looking to pass. It's Murphy. Looks to the left, and it's complete. They stop the receiver, but that's a solid gain on that play.
It's a much better job by this quarterback of working through his progressions. We've seen him earlier trying to force some throws, trying to make a big play. This time, works through his progressions, checks it down to the flat, and picks up some loss of yards.
Quarterback wants to throw it on 2nd down. Gets made on the outside. At the 32, it's enough for a 1st down.
The key on a 3rd down between the quarterback and the wide receiver is the timing. That quarterback knows that he's got to get the ball out quickly and on time to give his receiver a chance to not just make the catch and stay in bounds, but to be able to give him a chance to maybe get upfield and make a play.
On 1st and 10, looking to throw. Fires it to the right edge. He makes the catch. They tackle him at the 48, but it's enough for a new 1st down.
Well, this is a beautiful play when the timing is right, as we see right here. The receiver's got to do a good job of working his way back to the football as the quarterback is throwing it. The timing here is impeccable.
Looking to throw it again. Onto the big man for a short pass.
Well, I thought we'd see this tied in all game long within this game plan, but that's just his 2nd catch of the game. The defense has done a nice job of being able to recognize where he is and take him out of this plan.
Important 2nd down play coming up. Goes in motion now. Let's see how the defense adjusts. Makes the catch downfield. He's in the clear. They finally grab the center, but not before he leads the defense on a chase.
Well, it's been all passing all the time on this drive. This guy's 5 for 5, and now they're sitting at 1st and goal.
That huge play sets up a great opportunity. 1st and goal just outside the 5. Quarterback checks the defensive look, makes some adjustments. A little eye candy here from the offense, some pre-snap motion. Dropping back, it's Murphy. And it's incomplete.
Just a misfire here by the quarterback. These are tight windows, man. They open and close so quickly. You got to almost anticipate where you're going to put the ball.
Nothing on 1st down, so now it's 2nd and goal from the 6. Built to throw it here on 2nd down. He's running out of time here.
It takes the win for themselves. This offense is trying to find a way to get back into this game, and another pressuring sack against the quarterback.
Very long, looking to throw. Fires it to the right. It's complete.
There's a really great job here with the quarterback in the
chip shot field goal attempt. They're going to go for it on fourth down. There's the snap. They'll set up the throw. He escapes the pocket. Into the end zone.
Here we go. Break.
Using his legs. Smith. That's a solid gain. Moves the ball to 29.
Great job to be able to establish some rhythm to the offense. When you can run the football like this, it just opens up the playbook. You can continue to run, you can go to play action, and really keep the defense on their heels when you can run the ball like this. Nice play.
And a player is down injured after that last play. They'll take a timeout while they check him out. Looking to throw. It's Murphy. Bringing pressure. He steps out of bounds. No gain on the line.
And just like that, you squeeze the life out of this offense. That's another sack by this defense. They have been in that backfield the entire game, and a big reason why these guys are enjoying the lead.
Second and long for this offense after the sack. Change of pace, now looking to throw the football. Pass rush closing in. It's incomplete. That was caused by the defensive pressure. And now it brings up third down.
I mean, this defense is having their way with this offensive line. Their whole quarterback doesn't have a chance. Every time he tries back to throw, he's getting earhole. You better make some adjustments up front to give your poor quarterback a chance.
And fourth down, a short toss to the middle.
Great job by the defender coming up with that tackle that'll keep him short of the first down. I think the quarterback thought his receiver could win any one-on-one battle. This defender makes a heck of a play, and now we got fourth down.
Quarterback appears to be changing the play. He's throwing for it on fourth down. The ball's incomplete.
Let's go. Break.
Now moving the receiver now before the snap. First play of the drive, they'll come out throwing. Looking for his big tight end. They get him down, but a big play moves it to the 45. That'll put him over 150 yards today. Kirk, he is putting on a show on this big stage.
How great is this? On this stage, as you mentioned, Chris, just playing his best game. He's been in sync with his receivers. Back there, has time to throw. Just having a dream performance.
Nice grab. It's Benson. And he'll make his way out of bounds after gaining decent yardage.
Chris, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's only his second catch of this entire game. Boy, this defense has done an amazing job of keeping him in check. Let's face it, this guy's as good as anybody in the country. Big-time playmaking ability, but they've taken him out of the game. I think it's a big reason that they have a nice lead.
Sideline throw caught, but not enough for a first down.
Quarterback looks downfield to make this throw. He wants to be able to get the ball to be able to pick up enough yards for a first down. But instead, gets the ball at least underneath to the drag route and gets some positive yards.
A completion makes it second and medium. Looking to throw yet again. On the move now. Looking for his big tight end. What a catch! They bring him down, but not before he picks up first and goal yardage to the 9. Here we go, first and goal. A touchdown here gets him right back into this game. Off the play fake, looking to throw. He's got it near the end zone. Defense makes the saving tackle at the 40. The offense will wisely spend a timeout after the play. Clock management is going to be very important here in the final minutes. the first play of the drive now from the 20-yard line. Looks like the QB is changing the play at the line. Looking out throwing here to start the drive. Taking a deep shot here late in the game. The QB throws his third. And finally going in down. They've got to get points quickly here. Looking for explosive plays right now.
Block that field goal. White 53. White 53.
Back to pass. It's Murphy. On the move now. Looking deep for late game heroics. Receiver left alone wide open downfield.
What a touchdown here to put them within one with under a minute to go. Conventional wisdom says you kick the extra point and you rely on your defense to send this game to overtime. But you can go for two and try to take the lead.
From the gun, he looks for an open man. And it's things over 2 points.
Get him out of here.
Lead here late. Here we are late in a one-score game, and they're going to go for it on fourth down. And he starts short. Huge play by the defense on fourth down. They will take over, protecting this lead.
How about the offense being aggressive? They decide to go for it here, and I got to
Cool,
give
sit down.
all the credit to this defense. Being aware,
Dang.
anticipating the
Sit down. No, sit down. Chill out. You're doing too much. You're making it too.
and they did it.
They call a sneak. And it's the defense stopping the clock now with 14 seconds remaining.
Ain't doing nothing.
Offense comes up trying to grind down the clock and secure the W. It's a